Guys, welcome back to section 3 of getting your first 5 clients on the gym floor. My name is Owen. I'm going to take you through the last section here now before you move forward to our live video. Okay, so approaching gym floor PT. So this is now the point, guys, where we're looking at getting to the gym floor itself, having maybe set up your business name, you've done your logo, you've got your ParQ forms and your contracts all set up, you've got a social media set up, and even if a few of those things aren't set up yet, that's okay too. But when you're actually on the gym floor, then you have a business ready to go. The bread and butter of PT is actually personal training, right? The bread and butter of being on the gym floor, how to act, how to behave, and how to help gain more momentum within your business. Okay, so what we're looking at here, guys, is a few different points, right? And again, these might be reiterating a little bit from section 2 of the last video, but this is point 1 is talk to strangers and be kind, right? So if you're just walking around the gym floor, that's brilliant. You're being seen. Whereas if you're sitting in the canteen scrolling on Instagram, nobody sees you. You're not going to get a client there, right? You are going to get clients from being on the gym floor. If someone's training, don't feel you have to go over and correct them. Don't ever feel like someone's squatting and you're like, oh, listen, I can help you with your form. Never start with that. You need to build a few steps before you get to that, if doing that at all. Because again, a lot of people worry about being watched on the gym floor. You don't want to emphasize that even more and actually prove to them that they are being watched. You want to offer advice when it's welcomed. Don't feel like you're going to be the boss and just go over and correct everyone's form. People will not like that, and people will not gravitate towards you. You can get to that stage, but there's a few steps before that we're going to talk about right now. You see someone on the gym floor, just a quick, hi, how are you? Say hello, smile and nod, right? The next time you meet them, how are you doing? How's training going? You're building the relationship. You've already said hello to them. How's training going? They might say, training's going great, yeah, flying it. How are you doing? And you build a bit of a conversation, a normal conversation. Or they might say, do you know what, training isn't so great at the moment. I'm just feeling a bit lost. Next thing, you've got an open door. Happy days. You go from there. Right, you're feeling a bit lost with training. What's the story? Are you getting in much during the week? No, I'm only getting in twice a week. And even when I'm here, I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. Now they're asking for help without asking for help. So you can find a little bit more information out, but this is leading up to you saying, well, you know what, I'm actually a personal trainer here. I do help a lot of people like yourself who are stuck and kind of a bit lost in the gym. Would you have any interest in doing a consultation perhaps? And next thing, you've given them the opportunity to say, yeah, I'd love that. Thank you so much. Because the amount of people, guys, who are afraid to ask for help is staggering, right? So if you can give someone that opportunity to ask for help, you've created so much you've broken down a barrier for them, because that fear of people saying I'm stuck, I don't know what I'm doing. No one's going to put their hand up and say that, but people will do it when they're asked. So creating that conversation, okay, great. And then in the consultation, you can show off a little bit more. You can be empathetic. You're saying you're struggling with training. Like, what do you like about training? Let's see what we can incorporate into our sessions. Firstly, next thing, they're really looking at, okay, this person has my best interests at heart. So you want to show off that you can help them and be sound. All right. Remember people's names, right? You say hello to somebody, you get to know them. What's the name again there? Oh, hi Sheila, lovely to meet you. My name is Owen. And the next time you see Sheila, you be sure and say, hi Sheila, get her by name. Remember her name. What does she feel? She feels important because you remember her name, right? And the next time you see her, hi Sheila, how's training going? Then you're starting to build that conversation. You're going to follow up with people. Okay, point 3, follow up with people. You remember that they were training legs on Monday. So when you see them on Thursday, well, Sheila, how'd you get on with the session there last Monday? So you were doing legs. How were they Tuesday? Oh, yeah, a bit stiff. Yeah, yeah. Okay, you're showing you remember that they were training legs. Nice, you're making them feel important. You don't have to deep dive. You don't have to be like, I can help you with this. I can help you with that. You don't want to be too pushy. You don't want to be too salesy, right? Have some business cards on you, right? So if someone says, yeah, I might look into personal training, I'll see. You don't have to be too pushy. Look, there's my business card. No pressure. Take that with you. If you scan the QR code on the back, it'll take you to my link tree. You can check out my Instagram. That's on it as well there. If you want to have a look at any of those things and you can get a bit more information, there's no pressure. And even if you want to ask a few questions, you can just DM me on Instagram then. It gives people an opportunity to get to know you and you're not be that pushy, salesy person, right? If someone is interested, offer your services. You know what? You go straight to your offer. I offer one-to-one personal training. I help people lose weight, build muscle, feel stronger. And I actually work with people just like you, Sheila. I work with people just like you who feel a little bit lost and need some structure so they can be confident on the gym floor, right? You're selling to that person and they're giving them exactly what they want, all right? So again, all these interactions on the gym floor is going to be so, so key to getting clients, right? And then be seen on the gym floor, like we touched on in the last video, right? Don't just be, hiding in the corner on your phone, right? That gives off the impression that someone doesn't really care. Walk around the gym floor, put away some equipment. If someone needs a spot, go give them a spot. Use the time on the gym floor to be as helpful as people who need it as you possibly can, rather than being this person who's like, oh, 2 more hours on my shift now. What'll I do? I'll just stroll around, head down, look disinterested. No, that's not going to get you clients. Keep your chin up, walk around, put away some equipment, speak to people. How are you doing? How's training going? Someone pushes through their final rep like they look like they really had to fight to get through it. Give them a little fist bump. Be the connection that people want on the gym floor, rather than being the person who tries to hide and then you're wondering why you have no clients. Okay? So once you have a client, guys, here we go. Send them a welcome pack or a welcome email. Okay, so once someone's signed up with you, you could do a consultation maybe on a Monday morning with somebody. Monday evening, send them a welcome email, or maybe you'll have a welcome pack created on Canva to welcome them to the team. Always start off with something like, hi, Paul. Thanks a million for joining me for the consultation this morning and taking the time to meet me. It was great to talk to you about your goals and what you want to achieve with personal training. I'd like to give you a huge welcome to Owen Kremen Fitness, and we look forward to working with you over the coming months. As you've agreed to 2 60-minute sessions a week for 8 weeks, the first session will start next week, where we're going to do a lot of assessment and movement assessment during that session. And then you can say something like, if you have any questions at all, here's my WhatsApp, and feel free to either contact me there or through email. Looking forward to starting with you next week. Kind regards. Off you go. Right? If you've got a client group chat, which I recommend you do set up once you start getting a few clients, add them to the client group chat. It's where you can create some camaraderie and you can create a sense of community. Right? I've got a group chat myself, and I offer value in that chat every week to my clients. And then it's great that other clients help each other in that group chat too. Sometimes I'll just put up a transformation photo that I might put up on Instagram. I'll put into the private group chat where it can generate a lot of positivity. People will promote, oh, great work there, John. Down 10 kg in the last 4 months. Excellent. And everyone in the group chat will be supporting John. He feels great. It inspires other people in the group chat. And also you've got that sense of community. And you can offer value. Guys, I'm going to be doing a talk on Instagram there next week at 7 p.m. Be sure and join me there. I'll send you another reminder the morning of. Add your clients to that group chat. Create that community and keep that community and build on it as the months and the years grow, okay? And then with that client that signs up, let's just say you did that consultation on Monday, touch base the before session 1. So, if they're signed up for, their first session, maybe touch base in 24 hours beforehand. Hi, Paul. Just a reminder, our first session tomorrow is at 4 p.m. Looking forward to seeing you then. Right? So you could just have a little reminder that you're thinking of them and that they're coming in for that first session, so they feel at ease going into that first workout with you. Okay? Here's a few really important points, guys. I want you to take note here of this, right? Always arrive before the client and greet your client, right? It's a professional setting, right? If you are arriving 1 or 2 minutes late even, right, and the client's standing there waiting for you, they've paid you for, say, an hour, and you're 1 or 2 minutes late. Doesn't look great. You're fumbling about, you're getting their sheets, their training logs out, trying to look for their session from last week. You're trying to find your pen, and you're a bit all over the place. Doesn't look professional, right? If you're meeting somebody at 8 o'clock, you're there at 7:59. You're waiting for them, okay? When you meet them, firm handshake, eye contact. Hi, John, how are you today? How are you feeling? Okay, and that's your next question. How are you feeling today? Very, very important, because it sets the tone for the session. Someone says they feel great, that's a license to drive on. Someone says, look, I'm a bit tired today. The kids are sick there, so we didn't get much sleep, and then work is just hectic at the moment. Okay, no problem. We might just take the session down a little bit there. So today, John, we're just going to take it a bit easier. All right, we're still going to move. We're going to feel good. Mightn't hit any personal bests, but we're going to go through a similar session to what we did last week. If you're feeling really tired through it, let me know. We'll stretch out the breaks a little bit longer. We can drop the weight a small bit too. We'll see how we go. All right, you're showing the empathy and the understanding for the client. Whereas I've seen it before, PTs are like, sure, look, we'll wake you up here now, we'll throw 100 kg on your back, go straight into squats, hit a personal best. And next thing, the tired client is even more tired 5 minutes into the session, and they're deflated totally as the session goes on. So be mindful of who you're working with. Some people will really want to push. Some people will need a bit of a pullback. But that's a really good way of setting the tone for the session. Ask how they're feeling. Get a bit more information about why they're feeling that way, and then be empathetic if it needs be. Okay. Be chatty between sets, right? There's such a thing as being too chatty, where you're just talking and rambling, and then the client is on doing more talking than actual training, which we don't want. So be chatty though in between sets. Ask them about their family. Ask them about their weekend. What are they getting up to? Get to know them, and then once you get to know them, you can go back to that as well. When you're on a week 6 with a client and they told you about their family for the previous 5 weeks, you can always go back and talk to them about that. Tell them a little bit about yourself. Don't get too personal, but as you get to know them, feel free to tell them a little bit about your life. It builds trust and it builds a relationship between you and the client. Okay, so be chatty between your sets. But again, find that line. If someone's meant to be taking like a 90-second break in between sets and they're talking too much, you do kind of have to be the boss along the way somewhere as well and say, listen, sorry, I'm just going to stop you there now 1 sec, right? We're going to go back into another set. We'll continue that chat after the set, all right? And hand them the dumbbells if you've got to be a bit more, on point about it and really kind of nearly shut them up. Sometimes you'll have to do that as well, okay? And when they're training then, offer corrections. People aren't there to be praised only. If they're doing something wrong or they can do something better, it's your job to help correct them with that and help them, improve their technique to get more from the session. And that's the value that you're going to give them. So be sure and offer corrections if people need them, okay? So when we're in the session ourselves, right, that's how we approach the client, but how we approach it ourselves is very, very important as well. So again, wear your branded clothes. If you've got branded hoodies, branded gilets, branded t-shirts, branded shorts, branded tracksuit bottoms, whatever you might have, wear them, right? You're showing that you're a walking advertisement, not just to the client you're training, but to the people who are on the gym floor when you're training a client, okay? So people know, okay, this is a business. This is John Murphy Fitness. He's running a business here, clearly. He's got his name, he's got his logo, he's doing a really good workout with that person. When they need a PT, or if they know somebody who needs a PT, there's a good chance they're going to think of you. You're putting it into their head. You're planting that seed, okay? And it makes you look more professional to the client and to the potential clients watching you. You got your own logo, you got your own gear. It shows that you've invested in yourself. It shows that you believe in yourself. That's going to attract more customers to you. Have a clipboard and training logs. Okay, so you want to be able to look back on previous sessions, training logs. So when Mary's on week 10, you can show her, look, Mary, here's what you're squatting now. On week 1, you were only squatting this. So you've clearly gotten stronger. You can track their lifts week to week. And again, having that clipboard makes it a little bit more professional. Again, a girl I used to work with in the gym a few years ago, she actually had a tablet that she used to bring around. It looked so professional. She had her tablet. She could actually punch in different people's lifts, and she was able to show them on the tablet in the same way you would on a piece of paper. And it looked so professional, and it really stood out. And she actually said to me one day, once I invested in this tablet, people started noticing it, and I started getting her way more clients. So again, the more you invest, the more you get back. Session 1 should always be assessing, guys. So if you're doing a PT session with someone, you kind of want to assess a lot about their movements. People will tell you in maybe a verbal consultation how great they are, but when it comes to how well they can actually move and you see them moving, they mightn't be that great at all. Okay, so assess how well they can move. Can they do even like a kettlebell deadlift? The last thing you want to do is put them into a barbell deadlift in session 1, and they've told you how good they are at deadlifting, and next thing they have a huge rounded back, and they're risking injury on your watch. Because you believe what they say. Always assess the movements so you can see how good they are. And if they're great, brilliant, maybe towards the end of the session or onto session 2, you can push them a bit more and bring it up a level. Same with squats, same with maybe push-ups. Can someone do a full push-up? Can they do a kneeling push-up? Do they have any core strength at all? Do they have any upper body strength at all? Maybe they can't. Maybe you need to put them on just machines for the very start. Maybe someone's a total beginner. You'll find out a lot about their assessment based on session 1, okay? Make it fun and be yourself. They go together, right? Yes, be knowledgeable for sure. Show knowledge, but have a bit of a laugh. Don't be a robot. Don't stand there silently looking at your phone. A PT that was one of my PTs in FlyFit years ago. He would train a client for a few sets, and even during the set, he would pick up his phone. He'd be scrolling. He'd take quickly 2 more, and he'd be back on his phone. And I had to pull him on it, but it was his own clients. and he lost a lot of them because he was so unprofessional. It wasn't fun for the client. He wasn't showing any level of care to the client. He was totally negligent. And if they got injured, he would have been in a lot of trouble. And it just shows that, like, as a coach, he doesn't really care. Whereas what he could have been doing was putting his phone in his pocket, giving all his attention to the client, and then when they finish the set, have a bit of a laugh with them, have a chat. How was that? Was that tough? All right, good news is we're going to drop the weight off for the third set. We're going to go a little bit lighter. We're going to increase our reps. How's that sound? Excellent stuff. Take a breather there, get a drink of water. Hand them their bottle. Be fun, but be professional, okay? That's really, really important that you do that. But be yourself. Don't try to be someone that you're not. Don't try to be, you're not there to entertain people either. Don't try to be a clown. You're there to just to be professional. So find that nice balance. But absolutely be yourself. How would you like to be coached? Coach people that way. All right. Another thing there, guys, kind of leads on to my last point, I guess. No phone. Do not have your phone in your hand when you're training someone. Not just to the client that you're training, but to the people who are on the gym floor watching you. You might have a timer on your phone, for example, that you're just using. But to everybody else watching, it just looks like you're on the phone. You could be texting somebody. You could be scrolling. It doesn't look professional. So have a stopwatch if you're looking to have a timer. And in between sets, do not be on your phone. It is so, so unprofessional, and it just takes away from any bit of credibility that you could have. Your job there, someone's paying you for a 45-minute session. Your job is to give them your complete attention for the 45 minutes, okay? Like we said already in the last video, train clients in visible areas. Make sure you're seen so that you can actually, potentially grow the business by just marketing yourself and just showing off how fun a trainer you are. Be attentive. Like I said, give all your attention to your client. Whether that's something that they're telling you, whether they're quite tired, whether it's something that you could see their movement is deteriorating because they're getting fatigued through the session, whether it's somebody says, look, I have a bit of a niggle in the knee. Do you mind if we don't do any kind of lunges today? I prefer if we didn't. Even though you might think in your head, they're codding me here, they're just trying to get out of doing lunges, you still have to take what they're saying as the truth. And go from there, okay? So be attentive and really, really take in everything the client's doing. Watch that they're doing things safely, watch that they're doing things correctly, and like that moves on to point 4, cue your client, okay? As if they've never done something before, especially if they are a beginner, right? You're talking them through how to use a machine, talk them through it, bit by bit. I want you to grab those handles now. Okay, we're going to do our first rep. I'm going to help you. I'm going to push off there now for your chest press. Hold there for a second, and really, really slowly, I want you to come back in for 3, 2, 1. Like you would have done in your course. Cue your client. Be really clear about it and be really professional to the point, right? And that'll give you so much value and give so much value to the customer as well. And make sure the client moves well. So again, they're doing some sort of a free weight, like even a goblet squat. You want to make sure that they're getting to a full range of motion. Think about other people watching you once again, right? You're training somebody and you're not giving corrections. They're doing a goblet squat and they're only doing a half rep. And you say, yeah, that's great. Sure, your movement is grand. No worries, right? And they should be doing a full rep. And you didn't give them corrections, especially if they're able to do it. How does that look to the other members on the gym floor when they're watching you, potentially thinking about hiring you as a coach, and they see that you're not bothered correcting someone who's doing something slightly incorrect? You could give way more value there. It doesn't look as though you really know what you're doing. So do offer corrections. Cue your client and make sure that the client is moving well, not just for their own benefit, but for the people watching as well. And classes. Okay, this is like a bit of an additional few slides, guys. So I'm just going to rush through these ones, all right? So classes in general, guys, they're your audition. So like I said earlier in the previous video, if you are somebody who's offered the opportunity to do a free class or an extra class to cover someone's shift, something like that, look at it as an audition. You could be training 20 people that could potentially be your next customer, okay? It's an audition to members, and it gives you an opportunity to showcase your personality and your skills. All right. Some people will really want skills and information. Some people will really want personality. A lot of people that will come to you for personal training, guys, will want nearly like a buddy, someone who's like helpful to them, puts the arm around the shoulder, who's a bit of crack, and who can just keep them company while they work out. You don't ever have to get them maybe any physical goals. They just want to train, move, feel good, and just hit some goals. Hit some goals of like being active for 3 months consistently while having some company. Okay? Be early and welcome everyone. That's help set up. So if you're teaching a class, guys, like a personal training session, be there before everyone else. You're rushing in a minute late into the class, looking scattered and looking, anxious. That's the energy straight away is going to rub off in the class. Doesn't look very professional. Suddenly you could have lost yourself a potential customer. And try to get as many names as possible. So you get to know people, particularly if they're a new class. Try and get to know people in the class by name. Try to remember them and tell them your name as well. Okay? Classes bring clients if the class is good. So the 3 S's is something I'd recommend you bring in here, okay? The 3 S's are sweating, safety, and smiling. Okay, so if people are sweating, leaving, they've probably done a good workout. If there's a lot of safety implemented, where they've, there's no injuries and you're not risking anyone getting injured, and they leave with a smile on their face, you've done your job as a good class. And that's a great step in the right direction to getting you more customers. Because the people in that class were like, whoa, that trainer, like in a group setting, they were so motivating, so much fun, had a great structure to the class. What could they do for me if I was working with them one-to-one, Use the whiteboard as a business card, guys, right? Have your class plan written up, but the big bold writing on that should be your business name and maybe some sort of your Instagram name or something like that, some sort of a link, how they can contact you, maybe something about 3 PT slots available for this month. Get the information out there because people are looking at you in the whiteboard for the class. So while they're in the middle of the session, if they're enjoying it, the first thing will be like, I wonder if this fella has space. I wonder if this girl has space. Oh, there it says on the whiteboard. Brilliant. I'm going to give them a shout after the class. Give people the opportunity to buy into your business. And then at the end of the class, stay until every member is gone. That's your opportunity to chat to people. Don't, wipe your name off the whiteboard. Right, lads, good luck. Throw the equipment back. I'll see you tomorrow. Stay there and actually give value to people at the end. How did you find the workout? How did you get on with that there? Get chatting to people. Ask them how they found the exercises. Anything there you found challenging? Anything you want me to go over in terms of technique there? Did you find anything was a bit of a challenge for you? Get to know them. On a personal level too. Anything planned for the weekend? If you're teaching someone on a Friday evening class, people might be going out Saturday. Any plans for the weekend? Are you going away? Get to know people. When you see them on Monday, how was your weekend away? You're building that relationship. They know you're a nice person. They're going to buy into you. They'll be a lot more likely to join you up as a client after that. Okay? So look, guys, a basic summary, right, of what we covered in these videos. Be professional, stand out. Be friendly and approachable. Be organized and be punctual. And market yourself with confidence. Okay, they're so important you get them right. Okay, really, really important. If you can do that, it'll go a long way to helping you get clients. Okay, so what I want you to do, guys, I'm going to give you a little bit of homework here, right? 3 different tasks to do. Okay, what I want you to do in the next week or so, I want you to create a business name and choose a brand color. Okay, so really, really simple. I'd probably start with the color and then follow up with the business name. It can be your own name, like we spoke about. And create some sort of a business name from there. If you're having trouble, if you don't want to use your own name, ChatGPT could be a good place to start with that. It could give you some ideas. I want you to get very clear on your philosophy. Okay, I want you to get clear on that. What it is that means a lot to you. What are your values? And what are you going to build your business around using those values? And I want you to create a PARQ form. Okay, so that's going to be the next thing that I want you to do. You can take it, like I said, from Google or from ChatGPT. You can create some really, really good questions there that are going to shape your PARQ form so that when you do a consultation with somebody, you can get all the information from someone and they will be able to give you all the information that you need before you start planning their program for them. Okay, so your 3 tasks are a little bit of homework. From this, guys, we're going to move on and I'm going to have a live call with you coming up soon. So I will see you all then. If you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to send them into the school app. And I hope that these 3 videos were valuable to you. Looking forward to seeing you soon, guys.